Conor McGregor has made a habit of calling out anyone in any sport, but now Canelo Alvarez has answered Conor's call out. This isn't the first time that Conor's tried to coerce Canelo into a boxing match, and he had originally claimed that he knew the secret to beating Canelo. Conor stated, "I'm a southpaw, John Ryder's a southpaw, Billy Joe Saunders is a southpaw. I've seen methods, I've seen things I do, and I know he's waning. I'd fight Canelo no problem." Canelo had quickly turned Conor down at the time by giving his own prediction on how the fight would go. Canelo stated, "The truth is, I haven't seen what he said because I don't have my social networks on my phone right now, but I'll beat him with one hand behind my back." Of course, this didn't go smoothly with Conor, and Conor responded in classic fashion. Conor stated, "Canelo, you little ginger sausage. I'd beat you with no hands, don't forget." Canelo even told Conor not to even try coming at him anymore.
I'd like to show you some photographs of some other famous and great sportsmen, and you can comment. And this guy has been talking about trying to fight you for years.
Oh my God. Nah, don't try, man. Don't try.
It turns out that the fight was almost set up, actually, and Eddie Hearn thought that it would potentially be a huge crossover event. Eddie stated, "I nearly reached out to Eddie Reynoso and Saul Canelo about it, and UFC President Dana White. Listen, if there's money there, I nearly messaged Dana, maybe I will after this interview. I mean, they've done Floyd against McGregor. They saw how big that was. With Saul, you've got that whole Hispanic fan base. You've got McGregor's fan base. I mean, it's massive, but who knows?" Henry Cejudo really didn't think that Conor would have a chance against someone like Canelo in boxing. Henry stated, "Is a fight with Conor McGregor and Canelo Alvarez, is that something that I think more or likely could take place? Canelo would be all about it because you know why? Because it's easy money for him. And you go up against a guy like Canelo, Canelo's gonna stop you in the first or second round. Like, he's gonna make an example of you. We have to respect also, he's living a whole nother life. You know, sleeping in silk pajamas, flying private everywhere he goes. But I still know that he does have that chip on his shoulder and he still wants to compete at the highest levels. His mind may want to, but is his body still willing to give that push?" Dan Hardy didn't think that Conor would be able to go the distance if he hopped in the ring with Canelo. Dan stated, "I was a few meters from it when he was fighting Mayweather, and Mayweather was being nice at points. I feel most people agree with that. Canelo is not going to carry Conor McGregor for 10 rounds. Canelo is going to go in there and hurt him." This still wasn't the first time that Conor's tried to call Canelo out, and the first time, he called out Canelo's training team to get him better in the boxing world after breaking his leg. Conor stated, "Canelo team, bless you, champ. My man, I appreciate you, sir. Eddie Reynoso, big fan of your work, my man, and what you're doing with those guys in the gym. One day we get to train, I hope so. I'm confident, but I'm going to take it day by day and see how this leg goes up. One thing's for sure, I'll be able to box. I'll be out here till mid-October anyway, I think. I'd love to get training with you, sir. Sometime in the future, I'm sure we will. Thank you for the support." Conor isn't the only person calling Canelo out, though. Jake Paul also threw out his name as a potential opponent, and Jake stated, "I want Nate in MMA. I want more professional boxers, and I want Saul Canelo Alvarez." Canelo doesn't think that Jake is on his level, though, and he gave him some friendly advice. Canelo stated, "My level is another level, but look, I think he needs to enjoy what he's doing, and that's it. He needs to calm down and start calling out people with other levels. I think he needs to focus on what he's doing. He's doing good things. Enjoy that." Canelo isn't the only one who thought Jake was crazy for wanting to take on Canelo.
Fighting pro boxers. I eventually want to take down Canelo Alvarez in the next 3 years, and people think I'm crazy, but they also thought I was crazy when I was going to go to fight Nate Robinson. They were like, he's a dunk champion, he's an elite athlete, he's going to take your head off.
Yeah, Jake. I mean, if people would have thought you was crazy if you thought you could beat him in a one-on-one basketball game. Canelo Alvarez is a whole different ball. You can make a case he's one of the 5 best fighters of all time. He's run through the 160, the 168 division. He's an
Floyd Mayweather doesn't think that Jake should step into the ring with Canelo, and he has his own prediction on the outcome of that potential match.
He told me before his goal is to fight Canelo, so that's, you know, where his mindset's at.
He get f***ed by Canelo. There's no way he get demolished.
David Benavidez wanted a taste of Canelo after his win in March. David stated, "I have a lot of respect for Canelo Alvarez, but he has to give me that shot now. That's what everybody wants to see in September. I don't think he's trying to avoid me. I just believe he has a lot of options." Steven Espinoza laid out the plan for that fight along with a few others after Canelo's commitments coming up. Steven stated, "So I think a lot of the attraction for Canelo was getting access to Benavidez, the Charlos, Demetrius Andrade, and the second part of it is I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I think it's clear that our platform is the biggest pay-per-view in the US. We've been doing this for 37 years. We've got a machine and we know how to market pay-per-views. And I think the combination of the best available opponents, the best available publicity marketing machine, I think that's really what attracted him. Initially, it was Jamal, Benavidez, Andrade for Canelo. If something happens with Caleb Plant, he could pop back into the picture. Jamal was sort of a possibility, but distant. So I think there's a lot of talent that we've got access to, even David Morrell at that point. Errol Spence isn't looking to call Canelo out like the others, but he's definitely interested if it pops up.
We're not thinking about Canelo right now, but I mean, if the fight come across the table, you know, I definitely take that fight. You know, I feel like, you know, 165, 168, that's more my natural weight, and it's a lot easier for me to make. So I definitely take that fight.
Meanwhile, Terrence Crawford is trying to negotiate a possible fight in different weight classes. Terrence stated, "We can do something at a catch weight, probably like 160 or 158 pounds. That would be cool." Canelo is definitely not interested in that fight though, and he stated, "He's a great fighter. He deserves to be in the top 2, but it's hard for me to make other weights. Like he said, if he beat Gervonta Davis, nobody's going to appreciate that. They're going to say, too small, too small. And I think it's the same position for me." As for Conor McGregor, Canelo responded to his recent call-out with a potential timeline for a fight. Canelo stated, "He's crazy, Conor. Maybe we'll fight when I retire." With that in mind, Canelo is looking to focus on his next fight against Jermell Charlo, and he made sure to compliment his next opponent as he talked about the risks he's taking in a fight like this. Canelo stated, "I'm happy to be in this position right now, in the big fights. Jermell Charlo is a great fighter, the undisputed champion in his weight class, 154. He takes challenges like me. I always take risks. We love being involved in these kinds of fights." Jermell Charlo knows the kinds of risks he's taking with an opponent like Canelo as well, and he thinks he's ready for it. Jermell stated, "A lot of guys are worrying about the wrong things, moving up in weight, doing this and doing that. When you want to win something this big, you gotta risk it all. That's part of this moment. I know I'm moving up 2 weight divisions. Who cares? Who gives a damn? That won't stop how I do it and the way I do it. I'm excited for this moment." While Conor's trying to hype his name as best as he can, it looks as though Canelo is very focused on his career with boxers of a similar skill level. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos on the screen right now.